All right, we are here. We are ready for the grand finals of Baddy Overwatch League Season 7. I am Evilite here with Live Axolotl. How's it going, man?
Absolutely great. Excited to see some stellar play from these two teams.
Yeah, this is definitely be a super hype matchup. The top two seeds of the regular season meeting up here in the finals. The first two, the quarterfinals and the semifinals, both went the distance to a game 5. I'm really hoping we can get another 5-game set here because that would make for a very, very exciting conclusion to the season.
Really would. I'm surprised they chose this map on entry, considering we're going up against Wacky Tabaki. Baddy League is very brave to choose a map with plentiful environmentals.
Yeah, I was when I saw that they picked Lijiang, I was like, please give me Garden first. I want to see a ton of environmentals, and here we are at Garden. So I'm really curious to see how this is going to start up. Actually, so if I didn't really cover this in the pre-show, but these teams actually matched up all the way back in week 1, which pretty much it feels like an eternity ago, which I mean it wasn't that long ago, it was only a month and a half ago, but still very beginning of the season. TRAMP Soccer Moms took the series 2-1, but obviously that was the very beginning of the season. A lot has changed since then. So
oh yeah, I think Baddy League have really demonstrated that they can come together and act as a team, and that's gonna mean a lot here. Running kind of an interesting Pharah Mei comp. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, so Baddy League's gonna be pushing through the white room here, trying to get some space because they're running the Rein Zarya tank combo, while they got Heron on this Pharah, who's gonna take out BSRK really early, and right before the point's gonna be able to unlock, and that's gonna be allowing him to get good control here onto the point. As Wacky's gonna go in, he's gonna get a nice pile driver in. As Zappa's gonna take out Otterbotter, so that's a pretty good counter kill coming out.
Cuban Pete already halfway to a coalescence.
Baddy League's gonna be able to get the point cap really early. So there's gonna be a lot of messy fighting as the pile driver's gonna be able to take out Cuban Pete from Wacky, as Dano's gonna be able to take Heron out of the air. But Cerberus gonna get traded out by Dr. Eggman, so it's looking pretty good so far for Baddy League.
Wacky at a minefield. Let's see.
Yeah, it's Zappa and Tuna and BSRK all gonna pick up, so they're actually gonna get a really good early point swap here. So only 23% on Baddy League, and that's gonna be the battle won here for TRAMP Soccer Moms in the point flip.
Baddy's got some good ults coming up though. We have a barrage and almost at shatter from Eggman.
Yeah, look for maybe like a nice like shatter barrage combo here coming up.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe then a coalescence to clean it up. Let's see. This is a good angle for it.
Yeah, so they're pushing through the white room here. Wacky's kind of swinging around the back, trying to hit him on the flank here. As Eggman's going to be able to push in. He's swinging his hammer really hard. As Headweaver's going to take out Dano. That's both the DPS players. The TRAMP Soccer Mom's going to be taken down. But Wacky coming in with a minefield, going to be able to take out Benny. Aaron pops the barrage, going to be able to take out their bird, but he's going to die to Zappa before he can get any more kills. So Zappa's also going to pick out Dr. Eggman. Ooh, nice accretion onto Otterbotter is going to take her out. And Wacky's going to clean up Cuban Pete with the swing around and a successful defensive hold here.
That was a very expensive fight for Baddy League, burning the barrage. And you see Heron swapping on to Hanzo, just totally giving up on the Pharah. I think that actually might be a little better.
I think he just doesn't feel like he was getting as much value out of it as he was hoping, so he's going to switch out to the Hanzo here so he can kind of work with the shield. There's going to be a pulse on stick, but he's not going to be able to get anybody with that. Otterbotter, Benny, and Cuban Pete are all going to fall to the tanks here of TRAMP Soccer Moms. This is looking really good for them. Zappa's going to pick up the third. Wacky's going to clean up Eggman with the melee. And another one fight here for TRAMP Soccer Moms as Dan is going to clean up Headweaver.
That big environmental.
Wow, that is
huge environmental on the Zarya there.
These tanks from TRAMP Soccer Moms are putting in absolute work right now. Something I really pointed out going into this series is they were going to be key parts of this. As the point's going to wind down, Wacky's going to get the minefield out in front, and he's going to kind of zone him off, and Eggman switching over to the Roadhog is going to come in onto the backside as Headweaver is going to throw the Blizzard onto the point. Both the Moyers are going to get traded out as BSRK is going to clean up Benny, and here comes a sound barrier out of Tuna Sub, going to give their team
be ready.
Great position. Yeah, he's kind of holding on to it, but I don't think he's going to need it as the rest of Baddy League is going to get cleaned up really easily.
I think between
that and the last one to fall, and that's gonna be the first point here.
Yeah, I think they had it either way though. Between the Blossom and the Pulse Bomb, just waiting. That's a lot of punch.
Yeah, they had both their offensive ultimates ready, so even if the fight did go on a little bit longer, they should have been able to finish it off. But like I kind of focused on before the series started was can the tank duo of Zappy and Wacka. Zappy and Wacka. Wow, okay. Zappa and Wacky.
And Zappa. There you go.
I'm just meshing them into just one conglomerate at this point. Yeah, Zappa and Wacky doing work here on the front line is allowed. It gave the space for the rest of their team to kind of push up and do what they need to do.
I was really confused with Baddy League there. I felt like they had it. They had some really good ult combos, but I feel like Eggman got frustrated and swapped onto Hog there. And it just, I don't feel like...
He's going to be starting on that here as Wacky already rolling on the point really early, as he does on this ball every time. This can be an early point positioning here for Baddy League, as Wacky's going to kind of swing across and hit a couple of them, but not do too much yet. As we got Head Reaver here on the Doomfist starting here, and Heron's going to be on the Sombra, going to be able to try and get some hacks onto this.
That's a big pick on Tuna.
As Tuna's going to fall to Heron, but Zappa's going to pick up Autobot with the accretion, so a couple supports being taken out really early.
Here's a Coalescence.
That's a really early Coalescence coming out of Keep and Pete, as the DPS here.
Might help him win the fight though. Let's see.
Baddy League can be able to trade out take out the DPS here of Baddy League.
Gotta clean up Zappa.
Taken out.
Ooh, beautiful.
Zappa's gonna get punched into a wall. Heron's gonna take out Sir Bird, as that's a very good rebound fight, as they really need to do that, trying to get this establish some early control here.
Yeah. They're looking at a ton of ults coming in though, between Wacky at 90% for the Minefield, Berserks, Barrage, and Coalescence. And look, also a Pulse Bomb. Oh, here comes the Barrage.
BSRK coming in with a Barrage. He's going to take out Head Reaver, but Benny's going to take him out before he can finish off anyone else's. Wacky's going to get hooked in by Eggman. There's a Pulse Bomb coming in out of Dano, but that's going to be faded away by Cube and Pete. The Coalescence coming out of Sir Bird's going to take out Benny in his Supercharger. Zappa going to take out Cube and Pete with the accretion. Eggman going to take out Dano. This is looking pretty messy fight. Here comes Head Reaver in with the Seismic Slam, coming in with the Meteor Strike as well, going to try and clear off the point. Eggman popping the whole hog, trying to help clear the point out.
And here's the MP, I think.
BSRK is going to get, yeah, he's got the MP ready, but he's going to get taken out by BSRK. He took out both their DPS players. This is looking really good. Gravity coming out of Zappa. Going to combo in with the Minefield out of Wacky, and
that's a flip.
That's looking really good. BSRK going to come and clean up, follow up with the support ultimates, or the tank ultimates rather.
That was a huge Graviton.
Heron trying to be sneaky here, see if he can get out before he's going to try and translocate away, but he's going to get staggered really hard here. So it's going to allow Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms to rack up a few extra percentage points before he is able to return to the fight. They only got EMP available right now. I don't know if they're going to kind of want to gesture for farming some ultimates before they push in to try and start a fight, but
I don't know.
Sometimes an EMP is all you need.
Yeah, but EMP with whole hog, if they can wait that long, could be really successful. So
he's gonna get the hack onto Wacky, as Dan's gonna miss the stick with the pulse bomb, not gonna be able to pick up any.
They're gonna have it. It does look like EMP and whole hog are gonna be ready.
Yeah, but Heron's gonna get taken out before he can even use EMP, as Wacky's gonna get taken out by Head Reaver here. It's looking a pretty good fight here for Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms. BSRK is going to pop the Barrage, take out Benny. This is looking like a really good fight so far, as this is going to force Baddy League to retreat here and try and reset, try and get another fight in before this timer ticks down.
Yeah, the Tramp Stamps were very strong there because they still were sitting on Valk as they are now. So they could have sustained that engagement for much longer.
So Zappa's getting really close to another grab.
Look at Heron sneaking
another flux here.
Heron sneaking onto point still with EMP.
Yeah, he's gonna uncloak here to start that going, start the point ticking. As I'm looking for a nice flux minefield combo coming in here. As the minefield's gonna get popped and the flux is gonna come in. He's only gonna get Eggman here, as he is being a very tanky Roadhog. He's not really gonna get affected by that too much. Head Reaver switched it off over to the Ash here, as Heron's gonna pop the EMP. He's not really gonna get too many people with this one, but it does seem like it is gonna be enough, as Baddy League is gonna be able to win this fight and capture the point back, but not before Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms gets it all the way to 99%.
That was a very strange use of EMP there. I expected to get a lot more value out of that. I think they've got 3 ults.
They got both their
Sound
support
barrier.
ultimates. This is really key.
Yeah.
And
But
ooh, nice pick coming out of Eggman on the BSRK as they're gonna pop the Coalescence here to try and kind of dissuade them from fighting him here, trying to stall this timer out. They do have the sound barrier still available as BSRK is gonna get rezzed up by Tunisup. Subverge gonna counter with his own Coalescence, but Wacky's gonna get taken out. It is a nice boop coming out of BSRK onto Eggman. He's gonna be able to take him out. There comes the sound barrier. Gonna be able to kind of stall this fight out. Kind of need to push him off the point before overtime can tick down. Really messy fight coming in here on point as we are sitting here in overtime. Eggman switched over off the Roadhog onto the Wrecking Ball. So he's gonna be able to take out Dana. Here comes another Flux coming out of Zappa. That's like about his second one of the fight. It's a big barrage coming in out of BSRK. He's gonna be able to take out 3 with that. As this looks like it's gonna be able to flip the point, and that's gonna be it.
Victory.
yeah, I think it was
Soccer Mom's gonna be able to take the map.
I think it was that huge boop on Eggman. I mean, that was so much HP to take out of the fight.
Yeah, definitely. Wacky Tabaki coming in with the play of the game. Coming in here on the first point is he's going to be able to get some damage onto Heron while he's barraging.
That was
He's just rolling around, left clicking, meleeing, doing typical ball things. So I kind of want to focus on that last fight there, as you had both support ultimates available for Baddy League, but Champ Stamp Soccer Moms were really able to kind of prolong the fight so that they can get their own ultimates kind of counter, and being able to make the fight last as long as it did and allow themselves to build up their ultimates is kind of what really swung the fight in their favor, because Zappa was going to be able to get another Flux, and that kind of helped seal that last fight there.
Well, I think Zappa is just the real hero here. We all know Wacky's a monster, but Zappa's Sigma play is just consistently deadly, and we all know how easy it is to get gold damage on Sigma. In the current game, Sigma's like basically a frontline DPS with all the strength of a tank.
He's an assassin tank.
He's just brutal at close range, and you pair that with Wacky's ability to go in and just stagger the entire team, and I just don't see Eggman getting value. Eggman is the disruption monster on attack, and on these control points, like where is Eggman's disruption? And I don't see Head Reaver on Doomfist coming in and creating that same level of chaos. And I think between these two teams, it's like who can create more chaos, and I think Wacky's owning it, and Zappa's just following through. And then I think I'm just seeing the war between the Moiras happen here, and I think that the Tramp Stamps supports are just a little stronger, and like Cuban Pete holding on to alting early, it's just not quite enough, to sustain those engagements, especially in situations where Eggman's getting booped off the map by the Cirque. I really think we're underplaying how huge that was. You take a 600 HP hero, and he's just out.
Yeah, removing that much health pool off the enemy team that early was definitely very crucial.
Yeah.
So going in here into map 2, Baddy Lee looking to bounce back and even up the series. What do you think is kind of the key going into this next map that they need to do to tie the series
on DPS. Up? Eggman on DPS. I'm telling you, it's just wrong to have him on tank in this environment. Because the problem that I see, I watch his play, I watch him getting frustrated. When you can watch Eggman's play, and you can see when he's on a roll, and he's on a roll when no one is shutting him down. And when you have a player that creates utter chaos, it's about investing the resources in that player to make them unkillable, and then following their lead. And right now, I don't see the entire team playing around Eggman, and I think that's weakening their positioning enough that their supports especially are just not winning their duels or getting targeted early, and getting picked. And then I just kind of feel confused about where Head Reaver is, in terms of what he's choosing to play and where he's bringing that weight in on damage. Not that his play is bad, it's just more of it's just a confusing,
So is Head Reaver kind of like the key focus going into this second map that you're kind of looking for
Yeah, I saw him
Baddy
on
League to succeed?
I saw him on Ash, and I really had to ask. I didn't see him kill Berserk once, and I said, okay, then why are you on Ash? Like, where's my value add? Because he was doing fine on the other DPS he was playing, but I would really rather just see him on tank and see Eggman on DPS.
Yeah, I think that the map that they were playing on, being on the night market, Heron was able to, or BSRK was really able to use the cover in the sky to his advantage really well. And it didn't really give Head Reaver that many sight lines to be able to take him out. Anyway, we are heading over to Kings Row here for map number 2. Tramp Soccer Moms up in the series 1-0. And it looks like Baddy League on Wednesday nights is going to be starting on the offense here.
Yeah, I really want to see Baddy League absolutely just gang rape Zappa. I think that if they can kill Zappa, I really think the Tramp Stamps will fall apart. I know Wacky's an incredible player, but Zappa's just cleaning up every engagement. Huge fluxes, lots of follow through, great accretion rocks. Like, he's a scary player.
Yeah, definitely. So it looks like Tramp Soccer Mom's going to come in with the double shield here, starting off on the defense with the main Reaper to as their DPS players.
Yeah, and it looks like we got Head Reaper on Junkrat and Heron swapping over.
They're sitting in offensive spawn. They can swap as much as they want here, as the defense is kind of stuck onto what they've picked. So once the timer gets down to 0, then we'll kind of see what they're going to be playing here. But again, Eggman is staying on the tank, as Head Reaver is going to continue to be the DPS here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Also, with Wacky not being on the ball, let's see how much of an effect that's going to have on the composition of that team. As here we go, starting in onto map number 2 here on Kings Row, as it looks like Baddy is going to try and kind of get the flank here through the hotel and try and be able to force him back, as that's a nice ult that's going to be able to pull. A couple of nice ults coming out of both the Aristas. That's a couple of really early kills coming out of BSRK and Zappa, as 2 more are going to get taken out, as that's a really early lost fight here for Tramp Stamps, or for Baddy League, as that's going to warrant a couple of really quick swaps as Head Reaver over to the Ash.
That was a lot of lost
back onto
there.
The Doomfist, as Heron's going to be on the far here, as he doesn't really have many heroes to really contend with for the air superiority.
Tramp Stamps at least 50% on all their ultimates. This was looking really rough.
Cuban Peak gonna pop the Coalescence here pretty early, as Head Reaver coming in with the Doomfist. Gonna punch Tunis up and gonna help get cleaned up by Cuban Peak here.
Here's
pretty early. I was like, here comes a really big flux coming out of Zappa. He's gonna catch 3 with this one. As he's able to take out Otterbotter.
Wacky's still sitting on Bongo.
It's a nice ice wall to be able to kind of trap him in. As Eggman with a double melee coming out. 3 melee kills coming out of Dr. Eggman here. As hopefully, I don't know if he's gonna be able to swing the fight, as kind of the rest of his team has been taken out. He's trying to stall as much as he can. As they do have spawn advantage here. Barrage coming out of Heron, not gonna be able to take anyone out. He's actually gonna get
that barrage might win it. Actually,
with a headshot by Tunis.
I think the barrage might win it. Yep, it did. Wow, against the sound barrier, I did not expect them to win that fight, but huge barrage.
Yeah, he might have been able to chew up the sound barrier enough that was able to. As here comes the Blizzard and the Death Blossom coming in out of the DPS players, the Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms, but Head Reaver coming in with a double kill. There's a triple AC, takes out Wacky and Tuna sub. That's his 4th of the fight, 5th of the fight out of Head Reaver. As we kind of stated going into the second map, we're looking for Head Reaver to make a big impact in that team fight right there. He was able to really close it out and help him capture this first point.
Yeah, I never thought it was a play problem. It just was, I think it was a focus problem, but I'm glad that their swaps early didn't totally screw them. And I think it was entirely the barrage. They were at such a disadvantage for the ult economy there. Just leaving the point.
Someone's gonna grab the payload. Grab the payload, somebody.
I was like, guys, that would be a horrible place to leave it to. Ooh, here we go. Opening with
They're trying to jockey for position up here, really pretty far forward, but they're kind of forgetting the payload. But here we go, getting here onto the streets phase.
That's a
That's
rough
gonna be a
corner.
nice halt coming out of Benny to pull them together. Here comes Eggman. He's looking for a big flux. He's gonna try and combo with the meteor strike here. Head Reaver, he's gonna be able to take out two. This is looking really good for Baddy League. But Head Reaver is gonna get taken out by Wacky, but Wacky's gonna be finished off by Heron. Dano getting taken out by Keep Pete. Heron gonna be able to get two more as a really nice team fight win. Coming here
Heron
out of Baddy
killing
League.
Berserk was so critical for that. I was really scared because Berserk was getting awfully close to an ult. And having a Reaper just hanging out, if he could have taken out Eggman, I think they could have won that. But it's basically the rest of that.
That was a really nice ult combo between Eggman and Head Reaver with the Flux Meteor Strike. Are they going to be able to get this pushed all the way? They're under a meter left as they come in to get the contest as a supercharger coming out of Benny. Gonna amp up the damage here as a barrage coming in out of Heron. He's going to be able to take out three, as that's another big team fight win, and going to be able to finish off this really quick point two coming here out of Baddy League.
Yeah, Baddy League really demonstrating some excellent play here. If they just keep remembering to move the payload. Berserk. Oh, I thought Berserk might choose to go for an ult there.
Head Reaver going to be the first casualty of the fight. He has switched off the
There's
Orisa.
the Blizzard that I was calling.
Blizzard here coming out of Dano is going
nothing.
to try and zone him off the point, as they are going to be able to force him back. Here comes Zapple looking for a flux. He's going to be able to get four with that one, but the rest of his team is not close enough to follow up on that, as that's not really the best ultimate with his team not being that close. But Head Reaver coming with the uppercut on a tuna sub. Meteor Strike on the BSRK that's a really good early fight advantage. Eggman going to be able to take out Dana with the accretion. It's looking really good for Baddy League, as I got a couple of picks here to kind of push the advantage.
Heron totally uncontested right now.
A lot of ultimates coming in. Big sound barrier coming out of Tuna Sub to really counter out the barrage coming from Heron as he gets taken out by Dano.
Berserk,
The minefield coming on the backside by Wacky, as BSR is going to be able to pick up two with the Death Blossom. Dano going to be able to take out Eggman, as this is finally starting to stop the bleeding here coming out of Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms, as they're going to get a little bit of a breather here.
That was a very all-in fights, ultimates left and right. I think I was pretty afraid Berserk was going to get taken out there. I feel like when you're running a comp
BSR
like the one that
looking on the flank, as he's going to get taken. He's going to get stunned by the accretion, as that's a really early pick, and that's not going to look really good, as Wacky's going to get hacked out of his pile driver.
That's
as the supercharger is going to help Eggman take out two. Heron's going to pick up another one, as this is looking really good here for Baddy League as they start to close in on the final point here. Zappa coming in with the emergency fluxes. You're not going to be able to get anybody with that one. Wacky doing his best attempt to stall here, swinging around the point, as it's looking pretty good, but he's gonna leave the point here, as
Sunbird
it's
getting
literally Wacky versus the world right now, trying to stall out as much as he can. Gets the minefield onto the point before he gets taken out. The rest of the team with spawn advantage here is going to kind of come back and try and help stall this out even more. But they're not really going to be able to find any picks here, as the flux coming out here of Dr. Eggman is going to be able to get two with that one. Is they're doing their best here to stall out, but they haven't been able to get any picks to alleviate the pressure here, as Head Reaver is going to take out Tuna Sub with the rocket punch. He's actually going to get knocked off the map here with the swing coming out of Wacky. Wacky swinging around, doing his best to stall at the point. It might be enough, as they are going to be able to force Baddy League back.
Oh, and another big boop on Eggman. Oh god, spin to win.
That was a really intense fight, but Wacky coming in with a lot of stalling.
Well, you know, one thing that I noticed, there was a point there where Berserk. Oh, look for this ult from the Sombra. Oh, not quite.
Oh, he's been found out, but he does get the hack on the Wacky, so it's kind of be able to force him back here. They got about 20 seconds left to be able to get this push all the way in. Here comes the EMP. He's only going to be able to get BSRK, so that's not going to create too much, as both sound barriers coming out of both teams minefield coming out of Wacky is going to be able to kind of zone out the
Zappa
back
has
line.
Primal.
That's going to be able to take out Otterbotter as Daniel on the Bastion here takes out Heavy Reaver. A bunch of picks coming in for the Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms as they are going to get the defensive hold here as BSRK popping the
all
zoning.
for fun.
Yeah, pretty much. They pretty much got them all cleaned up at that point.
And Zappa had Primal too. They had it at the end there. You know what really impressed me there was Berserk. There was one moment where it was only Berserk. He was the only man on point. And you know what he did? He did the smartest thing that only a Reaper can do. He just hung out and wraithed. You know? And he waited for Zappa to dive that point, and they saved it. That was a critical moment, and that was some excellent play by Berserk.
Yeah, it also really helped with Wacky getting the minefield off just before he got hacked by Heron.
I mean, it also helped when Wacky landed a massive boop right after getting back and then spun to win. Totally caused disruption on point. You gotta stall until your tank carry gets back. You know, I mean, like that's for both teams. That's just critical play. You know.
Yeah, definitely. So I kind of noticed that the fights really started to swing back into Tramp Stamp's favor when Wacky switched off the Orisa and onto the Wrecking Ball that he is so notable for. He is going to come out here on, well, I guess they're in the offensive spawn, so he can switch if he feels like it. But he's sitting on the Orisa right now. They're kind of going with the pretty similar comp that they had on defense here on offense if they can hold where they're at right now.
Ooh, we're getting Eggman on Reinhardt though, which I think is going to do wonders for the Baddy League. I really think this is. I'm liking the Baddy League's comp, especially if Wacky stays on Orisa. I think they might have it. I think my biggest fear is Heron on Sombra. I just don't know if I like Heron on Sombra. I don't know if he does enough of the time.
Well, Heron is kind of chilling on the back line, looking to see if he can get a nice hack onto somebody. He's going to be able to hack Dano.
But look at Zappa's
He doesn't have the rest of his team to follow up on that one. As Tramp Stamp Soccer Mom's going to push through the hotel to get the flank and force Baddy League off point as they kind of switched positions here, offense and defense. As Heavy Reaver coming in with a big punch onto BSRK, he's able to take him out, but Zappa taking out his second of the fight. As it's looking pretty even so far, but now it's starting to swing into the favor of Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms as Tune and Sub going to be able to take out Benny as this is looking really good for Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms. It's a really fast point capture coming out of them.
It was a huge pick by Berserk on Eggman. Just walked up, shot him in the face. I do it all the time on Reaper. Rhines just can't deal with Reapers. You walk on them and they just have no response. And it looks like the Tramp Stamps are moving the point. A small but a really substantial advantage, so you don't get caught in this very long sight line that I find really ends up costing teams ground.
Yeah, definitely. Getting that forward presence that allows them to really create space for the payload to get moved up and out underneath that arch. As a lot of ults here coming in.
Absolutely isolated.
Supercharger and the flex combo is going to come in as that's going to catch a few of them. As Tramp Stamp Soccer Mom just come in, pop all their ults that they had available, and that's going to be a really, really fast team fight. As I don't know if you could really call that a team fight because it's pretty one-sided.
Yeah, I just don't think that they're... The thing that's happening here is I really feel like Berserk is pressuring the heck out of Eggman. I don't think Berserk has given Eggman any space at all. Just staying in his face and preventing him from doing his job. Let's see though.
So I know you're talking about that, but we got Heron and BSRK kind of just fighting way back. I don't know what they're doing. Heron kind of got stuck in the back line as he's going to try and get some flank rockets in here as Cuban Peace going to get taken out by BSRK before Otterbotter can get the immortality field down. As that's going to go down but Heron coming in from the back of the team fight he's going to try and come in and swing in and be the hero here as the sound barrier and the blizzard coming out here, the Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms, that's going to allow them to take that fight and get the point capture here as they got 5.5 minutes to push it 69.41 meters.
I think that's an absolute win. I mean, if you're looking at the ult economy, we have Bongo coming up, we have Blossom ready to go, we have Coalescence almost ready to go, and we're almost halfway to another Flux, and that's a Flux from Zappa, which is guaranteed to get value. I mean, can Heron's... I mean, what are we looking at? Heron's Barrage, and then maybe also like a Flux from Eggman, but I don't even think it's gonna last that long.
Both their tank ultimates are coming up here pretty soon. There's gonna be, if this fight stalls, if this this kind of jockeying for position phase lasts a little bit longer, there's gonna be a lot of fights, a lot of ultimates. As BSRK coming in on the back line with the Death Blossom, he's not gonna be able to get anybody with that. As Keep and Pete pops the Coalescence.
Well, that's
a couple
good news.
ultimates pop, but no casualties yet. As I say that, Dano's gonna get taken out by Headweaver, as the defense starting to hold up pretty good, but Headweaver pushed up a little too far, gonna be taken out. As here comes a big Flux, but that's gonna be countered out by the sound barrier.
Heron's still sitting on that
barrage coming out of Heron. Is he's gonna be able to get one with that, but in conjunction with the tanks, they're gonna be able to push the Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms back here. As that was a very chaotic fight.
Actually, I think it was really, really nice. I think Berserk just burning that Blossom with no value absolutely just handed it to the Baddy League. I think that's what it came down to, because Heron was able to get some value out of the barrage after it was successfully, the Flux was successfully countered with the barrier.
Well, they still got plenty of time. They still got 3.5 minutes, as they got the payload mostly pushed so far. As Headweaver's going to get taken out by Wacky before he can use his Death Blossom here. Is Zappa coming in with the grab Flux. He's only able to get one with that, as the Immortality Field is going to keep him safe here. Supercharger coming out of Benny is going to try and give them the team fight advantage, as Heron swapped over to the Symmetra. Very interesting. Oh, a double boop coming out of Tutor Sub. That is absolutely huge. As Headweaver's going to try and counter with the Death Blossom, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. As Headweaver's going to fall to BSRK. And this is looking really good for Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms. Autobot are going to fall to the Coalescence here out of Sir Bird. Baddy League does have the spawn advantage here, but I don't know if that's going to be able to do too much, as Benny has swapped over to BSRK, actually coming in with a triple kill. Wow, that's going to be the map. That was, wow. That all started with an absolutely immaculate boop coming out of Tuna Sub, following it up with another KO onto I can't remember exactly who, but basically Tuna Sub made an absolutely humongous play that pretty much allowed them to get that point.
Pretty incredible play, honestly. And that's what I was saying early on, was I really felt like the supports on the Tramp Stamp side were just stronger, and sometimes just that little bit of extra value that you get from playmaking on support just changes a whole fight.
Yeah, definitely those big support plays are, you don't really see supports make too many big plays. Usually they're just kind of chilling, healing their teammates, doing their job. But when you see them make super big plays like Tuna Sub made there right at the end, you definitely take note of that. And wow, that pretty much won him that fight. And BSRK kind of just came in and then cleaned up the rest of them. But man, Tuna Sub, hats off to you. That was an amazing boop.
I think it straight up won him the game. Because if you looked at the trend of that, Baddy League was doing better and better and better. I think they had figured out who they needed to have on what to really combat the Tramp Stamps. And I think they were doing a really good job. Overall, I think they had finally gotten into their rhythm and they were doing a great job. We saw them push back and take up back a very large amount of that space. I think what really cost him that fight was the clock. I mean, that was a 5:30 hold from the second point to the third point, the final point. That's a brutal hold.
Yeah, they had a lot of time to work with there. They
just got absolutely rolled on first and second point, and that's unfortunate. I think they were finally getting into their groove, and I think they had a real chance of, winning that engagement if they had just, if Tuna Sub had not shut them down so aggressively.
Yeah, well, if they are starting to click, they really definitely need to do it now, as they are down 0-2, and if we are going to get a series that goes the distance, they're going to have to buckle up and really crack down on these games coming here.
Well, I think at this point, I think I'm more concerned about tilt. I think this is a scary time for any team. You start losing that much and getting pushed that hard, especially with the way Tramp Stamps are just like owning the terrain. And I think that's going to cost them like morale. And that's what I'm afraid of. I don't think it's a play problem. I think it's going to end up being a morale problem.
So here we go over to the Temple of Anubis. We do have Eggman switching over to the DPS, so maybe his Doomfist can really help carry them here.
And just for the absolute, you know, ego boost is to watch a Doomfist sail around the map murdering supports. I think that will I think they get some early picks on supports and it could just be all over, you know. I mean, both these teams play so fast and so aggressive. It's not like we're watching them battle out really a shield war. You know, this is kill something with value and rush. So maybe that swap will be enough.
Well, this is the 2-0 advantage here for Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms as we come here onto map number 3 here on Temple of Anubis.
I gotta say, I also like Heron on Hanzo. Hanzo's a huge high value player. All he needs to do is land one head click on one support, and that's big value. Really early in a fight.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, I think clearly the player to watch here is Eggman switching back over, because if he can pull out the hard carry, because his team has been struggling a little bit here in the first 2 games with him on tank, but we will see how it goes after he goes onto the DPS here, as Baddy League on Wednesday nights is going to start here on the offense, gonna kind of push through the left side
Berserk
here.
Going behind.
Yeah, but he's gonna get hooked in by Head Reaver, and he's gonna get taken out really early. This is a really early fight advantage, and Baddy League is definitely gonna use this to push onto the point. As Eggman, like I said, coming in with the rocket punch onto Sir Bird, gonna be able to take him out. But Dano with a couple of really key kills here to kind of even out the fight, as Wacky's gonna get the melee on a Keep and Pete. Dano with his third with the mine. But Eggman coming in with a double. He is doing his absolute best to try and stay alive here on point, but the Accretion's gonna shut him down. As man, Dano really kind of turned that fight around after BSRK got caught out really early.
I think Zappa also does a great job of just not dying. That's what I love about Zappa's positioning. Is I think Zappa is the anchor for Tramp Stamps. Just so consistent.
Yeah, he is definitely some strong glue that holds this team together. As you got Wacky kind of swinging around the bridge, trying to cause some disruption here, as Keep and Pete's going to pop his Coalescence. Zappa coming in with the Flux. He's going to be able to get, I think, 3 there.
Behind, though.
Wacky coming in with a pile driver to take out some of the low health targets, as Dano with the mine gonna be able to take out Eggman, as that's another strong defensive hold here for Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms.
Yeah, Eggman going for some real value in the back line and then just getting obliterated.
Yeah, I think they really got to get here. They really got to get to Dano and take him out, because he is causing a lot of chaos with all these grenades and mines coming out of this Junkrat. As it's kind of a problem, and something that they definitely need to solve here if they are going to try and take this point.
Well, I often find that Junkrats just don't provide enough like material focus fire.
Well, the minefield and the Junkrat tire coming out here, as Dano's looking for a big one. He's going to be able to pick up Heron in the back line, but before he can get back control of his character, Eggman's going to come swoop in and take him out. As it's a 1-for-1 trade, but Baddy League does have the spawn advantage here, as Wacky's going to get hooked in, but he is going to be able to get away. Berserk going to try and escape here with the Wraith form, as another Coalescence here coming out of Cube and Pete. That's going to get countered out by Sir Bird's Coalescence as well. But the whole hog coming out of Head Reaver is going to be able to pick up Wacky. Cube and Pete going to be able to take out BSRK. I think this is going to be the fight here for Baddy League, as they're going to be able to capture this first point after another few kills coming out of Eggman and Heron.
That was pretty disorganized. I'm not sure I know what happened there. Would you enlighten me? What was the win condition for that fight?
I think being able to really survive the minefield and Junkrat tire. Once those ultimates were used and not available for the main fight, that really allowed them to kind of push in and
you were exactly right. Maybe it was Eggman killing Dano.
Yeah, as I kind of said, they kind of had to get onto the back line and take him out, and they definitely did. As BSRK coming in with the Death Blossom, but he's going to get shut down really fast by Otterbotter, as this is a early fight advantage, as Wacky's going to kind of come in, split him up, as Zappa coming in with the Flux, but that's going to get countered out by the sound barrier of Otterbotter. no one's really been taken out just yet, as a lot of ultimates are being popped here. Really jockeying for position as Eggman getting in on the back line to take out BSRK. That's both DPS players down for Champ Stamp. But Benny and Autobot are going to fall to the tanks of Champ Stamp Soccer Bombs here. It's a even 4v4 fight. It's a nice accretion coming out of Zappa, really being able to stun up Eggman and take him out, as that's going to probably end the fight here.
I guess I was wrong. I really thought they needed that sound barrier. That was a risky hold onto it, though. Tons of ults on the defense side, though. Looking at a tire and 2 defensive ults.
Yeah, both support ults available here. The sound barrier should be able to counter out any aggression that comes out of Baddy League here. There's a whole hog coming out of Head Reaper, but he's going to get stunned up and knocked out of it. As BSRK kind of looking in for some aggression, he's going to Wraith Form away, but he's actually going to be able to get taken out before he comes back in. Eggman coming in with the Meteor Strike. Both Coalescence and the Junkrat Tire coming out of Dano. He's kind of looking for the backline. He's able to find Eggman with that. That's a really key pick coming out of Dano, but he's going to get traded out by Benny here. Minefield coming out of Wacky Tabaki. That's going to get a lot of damage onto the enemy team. He's going to be able to take out Autobot with that.
Yeah, that hurts.
Pick up a melee onto Heron. Another good defensive hold here for Champ Stamp Soccer Moms. That Junkrat Tire out of Dano is really key, picking up Dr. Eggman. Even though he did get traded out himself, since he does have the spawn advantage of being really close, that's definitely worth it.
I'm surprised they've been holding on to the sound barrier for a while. I think that's going to end up helping them out. Since they've been winning fights without it, they clearly, I mean, hey, it's just one more advantage. And Zappa sitting here with the Flux.
Yeah, Baddy League needs to do their absolute best to try and get that out. As the pile driver into the grab flux is going to come out, as that's going to get countered out with the sound barrier from Otterbotter. As Haynes going to be able to pick up Tuna stuff. That's no sound barrier available.
That might win it for him. Let's see, but
as Eggman's going to get a pick on the
Berserk's out of the fight too. Without this might be the way.
Eggman trying to take some havoc in on the back line. Here's going to get picked with the headshot. Heron's going to get the pick on the Dana with the headshot. Wacky coming in with the minefield.
That's the way.
He's going to fall to that. Head Reaver going to use the whole hog, trying to push these guys off the point. He's going to be able to pick up Tuna Sub. As here comes the Junkrat Tire coming out of spawn. He's going to be able to pick up Eggman, but the rest of the team's going to fall as well. As
it was huge.
Okay, so here's something I really want to note, is that they were actually able to get a tick. They did get a tick there on that fight, which is, I think, really important for going into the defensive round if they're not able to get the full cap here.
Only 16 seconds and not a lot of ults with which to take the point. I mean, we have a Blossom. We almost have, if they can get, there it is. Can they get it?
The Flux coming in out of Zappa. He's only going to be able to get the high health, the big health Roadhog as Eggman comes swooping in. That's both supports down. Both supports are down, but Berserk coming in with a big Death Blossom. Gonna be able to trade out both the tanks of Baddy League, but Eggman still doing his best to try and save this here, as he's gonna be able to take out both DPS players of Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms. The Seismic Slam taking out Wacky Tabaki. Eggman doing the best carry impression that he can. That's gonna be a 4th kill of the fight on the Tuna Sub. He's doing his best with the Rocket Punch onto Sir Bird. Eggman absolutely popping off. Meteor Strike coming in onto the back line, as they're going to be able to get some more percentage here, but that's really close spawns for Champ Stamp Soccer Moms is going to allow them to get back really fast, as Eggman's going to be taken out by BSRK. He's going to be able to take out Head Reaver as well, as
there it is.
That's going to be it, man. Eggman, he did his absolute best, and he did a lot of stuff in that fight, but it wasn't enough.
Like it for a second, but the second flux that they got was just too much. That's just a lot of extra oomph.
So they did pop. They did move up that 33.7% up to the 43.1. So they got a tick plus basically here.
I really think they need to invest more resources in killing Zappa. I think they're so focused on Wacky. I think if they just if they killed Dano and they killed Zappa and they found a way to just keep Berserk or run away from Berserk, just don't be near Berserk, range them, I think they could win it. I think that's what it would take, because I think Zappa, just like those fluxes are huge, and the follow up, the rocks, like it's like you're adding one more DPS to your team, and I don't think there's like any answer to that on the side of the Baddy League. you know, in their tank lineup. Do you see Benny or Head Reaver pulling that kind of value?
Yeah, I definitely see Head Reaver making some pretty big plays. He gets some key hooks. Benny, I mean, really with the Orisa, getting nice shield placement and getting a lot of value out of the shield is a big part of that character. Sure, he might not be fragging super hard, but getting good shields and good halts is kind of the main idea that you want to be looking for when you're trying to figure out what the Orisa player is doing well.
But I feel like the shield doesn't have a lot of value against the tramp stamps, because Wacky's just always in your back line, just causing so much disruption. I don't think there's a shield war to be fought, you know?
Yeah, well, this very well could be the last round of Season 7 here, as Baddy League is going to need to do their absolute best to get the defensive hold here. As Wacky kind of swinging through the point. As Dano going to get punched in the face really hard by Eggman here and get taken out early.
But I don't think anything's going to come of it.
So they did get Heron onto the Sombra here to really kind of shut down this ball. And I think that's definitely when they had the most success, was when Heron was on this Sombra and be able to prevent Wacky from doing whatever he wants. As I say that, Wacky did switch off the ball here onto the Orisa, as let's see if he can get as much value out of this Orisa as he does with the Wrecking Ball. My guess is not necessarily.
Benny's in.
Heron getting in onto the backline to take out Sir Bird, who is he's playing the Ana very interesting enough. He has opted to go to the Ana instead of the Moira.
Oh, and right back to the Moira, gives up 50% of a nano.
Yeah, some of these long-range rockets from BSRK can be able to take out Otterbotter. They don't have a Mercy to be able to res him, so he's got to be able to run all the way back from spawn here. As Eggman gets really low, and he's going to get taken out. This might be the advantage that the Tramp Stamps are looking for to be able to get this first point capture. Is Baddy League's going to be able to have to fall back and stall on this point, and they await the rest of their team, as both DPS ultimates going to come here out of Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms. Berserk can be able to take out Benny with the rocket barrage.
That was just so clean. The Tramp Stamps just walked in on him. Orisa, Sigma together. Oh, are we gonna get... No, we're not quite at an ult. I was wondering if we were at an EMP, but not quite.
Well, Eggman and Heron trying to do their best here on the back line, as that's not going to be enough, as Heron's kind of stuck on the back here. If he gets staggered and they're able to get a nice...
Yeah, that was a big stagger.
Try and snowball this. I mean, they really got to... Well...
I mean, they have Valk going in. They might as well just pop Valk and damage boost. And I think
they don't have too many other ultimates to kind of follow it up with. I think they might kind of hold off on that just yet. As you do have the EMP and Meteor Strike and Supercharger here available for Baddy League, as they are on their last point here. EMP, big EMP coming out of Heron. He's going to be able to pick up, I think, hack 4 with that one, as he's going to be able to take out Wacky. Head Reaver going to be able to pick up 1. Eggman be able to pick up 1. This is looking really good. Tunusub does get the res onto Wacky, but he's going to be immediately taken out just after that. As he popped the Valkyrie, and to really no avail there, as they might have wanted to save that for when they had some more ultimates to kind of combo it with. But man, Baddy League, they got a little over 4 minutes, and they're fighting for their season's life right now.
If we see another performance like we did from Eggman on that last point, I think they might happen.
You very well might need that to happen. Is they're kind of gonna Tramp Stamp Sakumon's kind of swing through the left here, as I don't think they're really expecting it, but that's going to be the amp, yeah, through the amp matrix. He's not be able to pick up anybody up with that. Is BSRK coming in with the barrage on the back, but Heron's gonna be able to take him out before he does too much damage with it. Here comes the grab flux. He's only going to be able to catch Head Reaver with that, but that is going to be able to take him out, as Eggman trying to be the last hope here. Heron and Head Reaver, or Heron and Benny, what can you do? Benny is sitting on 1 HP as the Dragon Strike coming across, but that's a really big immortality field coming out of Otterbot to help keep him alive, but Zappa coming in, cleaning up 4, as this might be it. As Eggman, he's going to do his best to try and save the fight here, as really it's just now Wacky as Zappa gets taken out by the Rocket Punch. They are going to be able to force them back.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was looking really scary. That was a great immortality field out of Otterbutter to help keep the rest of the team alive.
When the supports come through, they win. That's just like that's the big thing. Like, and Otter proved that right there. That, you know, just that little extra sustain of not of making plays.
Yeah,
on
really,
support.
really, yeah. It basically just completely countered the Dragon Strike from Dano. As a supercharger coming in out of Benny, is the Meteor Strike going to come in onto the back line. Tuna, boy, that's the pharmacy is down. Zappa's going to get taken out by the rocket punches. Looking really good for Baddy League. Looking really good for Baddy League. They do pop quite a few ultimates there, but
Very expensive. Well, they're not looking like all we're really looking at coming in is Coalescence, a Minefield, and a Flux. I mean, we're not close to a Blossom, but on the other side we've got a Deadeye. Not really that stoked about it, but a Window.
I know a Deadeye through the Amp Matrix could be really, really fatal.
That's true, but I don't know if Tramp Stamps will stand there and let you make that happen.
I mean, with how fast McCree is able to charge up the damage, how the damage curve is changed.
Oh, is it gross? I've never tried.
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty disgusting. All right, well, here comes Wacky. He's going to try to get the pile driver. As Dano's going to get taken out by Eggman, but Heron's going to get taken out really early. The Amp Matrix and the Immortality Field coming out of Otterbutter to try and help keep her team alive. Is Eggman coming in, going to be able to take out Tuna Sub after taking out Wacky?
On Eggman.
As Zappa has swapped off the Sigma onto the Winston here. As this is looking really good. Heron going to pop the high noon to kind of try and help finish off this fight, as it's not necessarily needed, as the rest of the team is going to fight him.
Left on the clock. There's only 1 minute, and they've got a supercharger and a bomb coming up.
Yeah, but you got the Minefield, and Minefield, Primal Rage, and Coalescence are going to be available for Champ Stamp Soccer Moms.
Also, even more so, Pulse. Pulse could really change that fight if Dano can land something nice on Benny, take out some taking, or Eggman. Can you imagine if
you really have to try and bait out the Immortality Field out of Otterbutter though if you want to try and use that. As I say that, here comes a Minefield from Wacky. It's kind of spread out all over the point. Immortality Field going to be popped by Otterbutter, but she can get taken out by Sir Bird with the damage orb. Dano's gonna be able to take out Heron. This is looking really good for Champ Stamp Soccer Moms. This might be the fight that wins them the championship. Eggman doing his absolute best to try and fight for their life here, but he's gonna get taken out by Sir Bird. Head Reaver going to use the Diva Bomb to try and zone him off the point and stall this out. They don't really have too much percentage here on the point. They do have the spawn advantage trying to get back to it. Zappa popped the Primal Range. Pile Driver taking out Otterbutter. They are absolutely trying to fight here. Swamp Barrier coming out of Tuna Sub, but Dano going to be able to get onto Cuban Pete, and Head Reaver going to fall to Zappa. This is looking really good. Overtime going to be popped here. This is the last fight of the map. This could be the last fight of the season here. This is looking really good. This is really good for Champ Stamp Soccer Moms. Otter trying to get on to stall, but that is going to be it. Congratulations, Champ Stamp Soccer Moms. You are our Season 7 Baddy Overwatch League champions.
It was so close. I'm sad. The Baddy League really did great. They were just so close. If we had just seen Cuban Pete walk onto a point with that Coalescence, there could have been just enough stall. Just enough.
Man, it was a 3-0 in favor of Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms, but man, was this a very close 3-0.
Especially near the end, I really feel like they started to when they got Eggman back on DPS, I really think they did better. I think that was the magic. You know? I don't think that Head Reaver was able to fill the gap that Eggman creates with just that really brutal disruption and fragging. Like, I mean, we saw on that final hold. Do you remember how hard Eggman was just pushing? How many frags was it in a row? 4?
Yeah, I think he had like 4 or 5, but I mean, it wasn't really enough because they had the spawn advantage there. So. Oh
yeah, no, they weren't going to win it, but it was still some excellent play. And I think that if they just kept Eggman on DPS the entire time, I think they would have done a little better.
Yeah, well, anyway, that is going to be the 3-0 for Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms. They are our Baddy Overwatch League Season 7 champions. We got an interview coming in. Are we bringing in the whole team here, or just a? All right. Sounds good, man. That was a really, really highly contested 3-0.
Lots of fun. Are we staying on for the interview?
Yeah, we got them all in here. Welcome, members of Tramp Stamp Soccer Moms. Congratulations on your Season 7 championship victory. How's it feel?
Incredible, dude.
Feels good, man.
No one better to do it against than Heron.
This is a big step up from Totes Magoats.
I hurt inside.
Why do you
Anyway,
bring this
so
up?
I mean, it was a 3-0 victory for you guys, but man, it was a pretty close 3-0. It was very, very, very competitive games.
Disagree.
What were you guys kind of thinking going down the stretch there at the end in that last fight? Because that was a really chaotic fight, and I honestly didn't know who was going to win that last fight, whether it was going to go to a map 4 or if you guys were going to be able to take that out. Kind of what was the communication looking like in that last fight?
We were pretty calm.
Yeah, so for the fight before that, we decided not to use any alts at all, and we built like almost all of our alts, and then we had Zappa go to the right, me to the left, and then whoever Zappa called was who we were gonna fucking hop on, and then it was just one target after the next, so it's good target focus.
Yeah, that was really good, and I gotta say that boop by Tuna Sub at the end of King's Row was absolutely incredible. I was freaking out here in the caster booth. I'm like, oh my gosh, you literally just won the game for them right there.
Oh yeah, it was fucking massive.
Yeah. Right as they started to get their stuff together perfectly to start to counter you guys too. They took a lot of ground right before that, and you guys came in so hard, and that boop just owned it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and then I was spinning Mach 5 around that bad boy, and there was nothing to stop me.
Yeah, you definitely, especially on the offensive push from Baddy League, they got it like I think within like a meter or so from the final point. But yeah, you kind of dropped in there, started swinging around, and were able to kind of stall it out until the end there, and be able to kind of push them back.
Yeah, big time. Definitely my favorite point to spin to win is that end point on King's Row.
Yeah, definitely. Any other comments that you guys have? Want to shout out some of your teammates? Give them some premium gas.
Well, being on this team and then being on Totes Magoats last year, I feel like the Shanghai Dragons. I got my anime redemption arc. I'm happy.
I did die to my own pulse bomb once, so.
Wait, I did.
Not supposed to call that out.
I did not catch that.
I'm
gonna have to go back through the feed and check that out. And
I didn't notice
I
it
got
either.
hacked though, so.
Oh, okay. Wasn't able to recall away from it.
Yeah.
I do have to thank Wacky and Zappa though for teaching me more about this game. Like honestly, those two.
Yeah, it was
helped
nice
me
having a
improve.
team full of people that wanted to actually learn the game. That's what, like, when I was drafted first, I was trying to aim for people that like kind of avidly play and like want to learn more about the game. And I think they took like BSRK, Dano, Tuna, Cerber. They took like huge strides for us. So we got them super cheap, and then we created a couple little monsters.
Yeah, they really helped by being willing to come into VOD reviews and all that kind of stuff. They really put in a lot of work. So
yeah, I definitely think with kind of seeing how you guys' story went this season is definitely I feel like that's going to really influence how teams kind of get drafted further into the future. Is who really wants to play, who really wants to improve and practice. Not necessarily who's the most skilled, but who really wants to try and improve the best.
Exactly.
Yes. Maybe I'll go for over $1 next year.
I also want to say that Sombra is a crutch and only bad teams player.
The big got him.
very true.
Well, all right. Well, anyways, congratulations, all you guys. That was a really, really, really well played final series. I think that's gonna do it here for season 7. I think we got the awards show next Wednesday, 30.
Hello. Next Tuesday, actually.
Next Tuesday,
I assume
actually.
a lot of people will be gone with the holiday and such, but
That is true.
yeah, I mean, it was like in the next 20 minutes, the awards ballot will be sent out to all players and team owners. Please get your votes in before Monday at 10 p.m. Central. And yeah, like you said, Tuesday at 7 p.m. a little fireside chat with myself. We'll do the awards. We'll maybe talk about the season and what's in store for the next Baddy Overwatch League coming soon in 2020. So yeah. So any other final comments? I guess that's it, boys. Right? That's GG's Tramp Sam Soccer Moms.
GG's easy.
GG.
Go next.
Oh, Jesus.
Go again. Yeah.
All right, Kamish, close us out.
All right. Cut the stream.